So this windscreen right here was actually special delivered to me after I did my Dakar. Remember I told you about that Dakar I did, right? And that was really, really great when I did that.
Ooh,
because
a Ducati today.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, yeah.
Multistrada?
Multistrada, that's Italian for many roads.
Oh, fantastic.
Josh, what do you ride again?
Die Hard Suzuki.
Die Hard Suzuki.
Till the day I die, yeah.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be in this video, Josh. I'm sorry. I think you should go. Does this happen to you? Do you just own a Japanese motorcycle like a pleb? Let's find out exactly what those Euro snobs are hiding from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first on our list today, it's a little something called character. Now, when you go out and spend $25,000, $26,000 on a motorcycle, well, you gotta justify it to yourself a little bit, right? Because your buddy down the street's got a Japanese bike that costs less, has a better warranty, and it starts up every morning, no muss, no fuss. So you go to bed telling yourself that, well, my bike just has a little bit of character, some panache, a little bit of special drizzled on top of it.
The second thing that you're going to hear Eurobike owners say is, man, isn't this bike pretty, huh? Well, the reason is they think these are rolling works of art. You might be standing there next to their bike looking at something on your phone, not even looking at the motorcycle, and they're going to rock up right behind you, materialize out of thin air and be like, man, that's a pretty bike, isn't it? Well, I mean, when these manufacturers aren't burdened like things with reliability or emissions or anything like that, all they're worried about is making fancy looking motorcycles, and they know that you're gonna pay for it. But hey, as a Eurobike owner, your neighbor might not know the difference between a Ninja 400 and an RSV4, but at least they'll come up and tell you that you got a pretty looking Yamaha. Man, I'm telling you, people who don't ride are scum. Wait, are you filming? Oh.
Next up is the inevitable statement a Eurobike bro makes before calling a tow truck. That doesn't sound good. Maybe you went to start your bike up one morning and noticed a weird tick that wasn't there yesterday, or maybe you yeeted your bike at 110 miles per hour at the track and suddenly the valve started sounding like hot death every time you started up. You'll get it to the shop and find out that actually the bike just makes that sound now. There's nothing wrong with your bike, but it just comes and goes as it pleases. You'll often see a Eurobike owner just turn on their bike and listen to it, and you might think that they just like the sound of their own bike, but nope. They've discovered that it makes weird noises and they're not sure if their bike is fine or about to explode. It's that stress of not knowing that makes a Eurobike rider a little more touchy when you bring up how reliable your Japanese motorcycle is.
Ooh, that sounds expensive. That sounds expensive.
But you want to be a real Euro boy? You can't do that without a Cardo. Go get one. You deserve it. It's the true and patrician choice of all Euro boys.
Next up on the list of things that all Eurobike owners say, it's the old pissing contest with power. There's no substitute for shouting a bigger number when you're talking about which bike is faster. And sure, the R1's putting down 200, but the Ducati V4, well, it's putting down 220. The V4 is your god. It is your sworn duty to lay low all who dare besmirch the V4's name. And not to mention the supermotos. Where's your 75 horsepower supermoto, huh, Big 4? Ain't nobody got nothing for the SMCR, and it doesn't even matter that it costs almost as much as an MT10. This is still the fastest sumo on two wheels.
Number 5 on today's list of things only Eurobike guys know, it's the propensity to own multiple motorcycles. Eurobike guys, let me ask you something. Come here, come close. How many bikes do you own? Is it 1, 2, maybe 5? I know you. I know you have many, many bikes in your stable, and they're varied in taste and style, aren't they? You don't have just 3 sport bikes chilling in the garage. You have an adventure bike, maybe a sport bike, maybe a penny farthing bicycle that you just happen to have because your tastes are just so different and unique. This is something that happens after you own 1 Eurobike or 2 Eurobikes. They tend to multiply in your garage, and all of a sudden you're going to the dealership every other month looking at a bike you may or may not need, and that is a bit of a problem. But hey, you only live once, am I right? How'd that sound, Spike?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I noticed you got, 2 Daytonas in here. What's going on with that?
Nothing.
You sure?
It's fine.
You positive?
Completely fine. It's fine. I have it under control. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, I trust you.
It's fine.
One way to identify the most pure-blooded Eurosimp out there is when you hear someone say, "Yeah, I got the top spec package." You see, there's never just one version of a Eurobike. There's a basic version with your basic non-adjustable suspensions, lower power output, and some budget parts so that embarrassed millionaires out there can say they got a Panigale, but they'll never tell you exactly what the model letter is. Because they know that any other Eurobike bro will look down on them. Then you have your middle spec rider who's got the nicer suspension, more power, and half the tech. This is not a Eurobike boy at all. They just wanted an motorcycle. Finally, you got the top spec rider who dropped the equivalent of their kid's college education on a motorcycle with all the bits and bobs and a limited edition t-shirt. This person is buyer's remorse personified, but you'd never know that with how often they'd brag about it. They know at the end of the day that the bike is not worth the money and the middle spec bike is good enough, but with how much coin they spent, they'll always need to justify it to themselves.
Number 7 on today's list of things you might hear Eurobike owners say is, oh, come on, guys, the insurance isn't that bad. And you might hear that overheard when they have the unenviable task of speaking to a Ninja 400 owner who says, I could never afford such a pristine and expensive Italian machine. But what they have failed to consider is that the guy who owns this is probably 40 or 50 years old, has a credit score in the thousands digit, and probably makes a lot more money than you do. So they keep this thing nice and pristine in the garage, wrapped up. They've got their Ducati tucked away, making sure that their insurance costs are kept nice and low. Or maybe you're a Ducati guy like me and you take it out to the woods and whip it like a rented mule.
Now, number 8 on our list might trigger some of you Euro boys, but did you know you have more in common with the average Harley guy than you think? I mean, think about it. You went to your dealership, you bought a big fancy new motorcycle, spent a bunch of money on it, got a tour of the dealership, and got yourself your fancy dealership t-shirt. And then you say, let's go back to the dealership this weekend. They got a barbecue going on, and I want to test ride some new bikes. You might be thinking you're going out for a ride with one of these guys. They're gonna spend 70 miles in the twisties breaking in their new motorcycle. But no, you'd be wrong. They're heading back to the dealership for the promise of a hot dog and a test ride. That's all they want out of their bikes because it's an experience riding one of these motorcycles. Remember, if you're going on a ride with a proper Eurobike boy, have the route planned out ahead of time. Otherwise, you're gonna be sitting at another dealership.
Number 9 on today's list of things you're gonna catch Eurobike guys saying. It's the last thing you'll hear them say when they're on their way to the better side of motorcycling. Yeah, you heard me. Are those spicy service costs. Now, the Honda rider will tell you just how frugal they are and how much they save on every nut and bolt on their motorcycle. And yeah, Desmo costs can be pretty bad, but I've got a great relationship with my dealer. And I tell you what, they gave me free espresso cups when I got the extended handguard warranty on this Multistrada right here. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Remember, we're just having fun, so if you own a Eurobike, don't worry, we're not making fun of you so much as we're making fun of ourselves, because Spite and I do own Eurobikes, and we kind of fall victim to these, don't we?
Yeah, I basically wrote the script with each one of these points being something that we do basically every time we come to the shop,
Yeah.
so.
I mean, my Ducati does have so much character, so take that for what you will. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Number 7 on today's list of things you might hear Eurobike owners say is, I forgot. Hold on, no, I remember.
So next up on our list is actually gonna make some of you Eurobike.
Number 5. Number 5! All right. Let me go through puberty once again. Hold on. This mirror right here I actually got when I was coming back from the Dakar. It was a replacement part that they had special order delivered.
Whoa, it's a cool bike. What's going on in here?
Thanks. Yeah, it is a cool bike, isn't it?
Ducati?
It is a Ducati. Yeah, it is. What do you ride again?
A Suzuki.
Suzuki, huh? I don't know, man. I think you better get moving.
Between this and my desert sled, you might think I'm just some horrible biscotti boy, but really, if you click this video right over here, I will prove to you that I love more motorcycles than just Ducati biscottis. Click it and find out.